And good morning and welcome to VSA Capital 5-Minute Morning Miner on Thursday, the 3rd of July. Morning, Paul.
Yes, it is good morning for me, but those congressmen in the USA still have done an all-nighter. They're still at it.
What, they're pretending to be lawyers or investment
Something
bankers,
like
doing all-nighter.
that.
All right, well, look, there's a little bit going on this morning, actually. I mean, first of all, copper has broken through the magical $10,000 a ton. So all those big bulls of copper will be getting very excited. So that's good news, and we are bullish on copper basically longer term. So it's just a case of how you play it, but we've discussed that many times. We're not going there again. We've got a few little fundraisings because there is a bit of fundraising capability at the moment in the mining sector, which is worth considering. I noticed also, actually, I'll just go back to copper a little bit. I can't resist talking a little bit about copper and CAML, but I don't know if you saw, Paul, but actually, it looks as though in this crazy bid for New World Resources, Kintera Capital have lodged an application with the Australian Takeovers Panel, alleging that CAML have basically been acting to frustrate a competitive auction and have also been dealing inside, they claim. Have you got any views on that, Paul?
Well, that would be interesting if there's actually allegations of obstruction, I guess, in this deal and so forth. The question then would have to become is whether or not it'll delay the procedures or not. I can't, knowing some of the directors of CAML myself, I don't get that impression that they would be um, involved in something which was not within the regulations. That just hasn't been a practice of theirs ever since they've been listed for well over a decade. So again, I would just be concerned as to whether or not it just delays the process.
Yeah, one should just be aware anyway. Now, look, now the stock, let's go back to something more positive. The stock of the day today surely has to be Mkango. When I last looked, it was trading up about 45% because they've done a rather interesting deal, haven't they, Paul?
Well, Mkango has decided it's going to merge up its mining and midstream processing initiatives in Poland with a firm called Crown PropTech, which is essentially a SPAC based in the Cayman Islands that has a cash in trust of about $5.7 million. The purpose of that is to eventually get that entity separately listed on the NASDAQ exchange in the USA and combines it with Hulawi rare earth separation project in Poland as well to get them into with the Songwe Hill rare earth mine deposit there in Malawi as one entity. The battery materials or rare earth recycling initiative is otherwise separate or to remain separate from that particular initiative. And if it realizes essentially greater value as two different um, uh, businesses as far as the public listing and liquidity is concerned, that would definitely be a good deal for shareholders.
Well, look, the market loves it, as I say, up about 45% and nearly 26p. Year to date, it's up 120%. These are the sort of moves we like to see in junior miners. We love it. Now, there's been a few fundraisers this morning, which we probably should just mention. Hamak Gold's raised some, haven't they? And Rockfire Resources have raised some. Run through those, Paul, quickly.
Yes, can do. With Hamak, that's bringing in a member of the Qatari royal family in that particular situation, and specifically there with a gross proceeds raise of 2.5 million sterling. It's also part of an initiative to set up a Bitcoin treasury as well. And in order to gain board support, there have been change outs within the board of directors at Hamak as well, with the executive chair Amara Kamara and NED Niall Young resigning from the board, whereas Nick Thurlow and James Lawrence have been put onto the board to replace those positions in this case.
Okay. Well, everyone's got to have a Bitcoin treasury account now, and it's sort of compulsory. And Rockfire?
And with Rockfire Resources on that particular situation, let me pull that up here and just in front of me here.
Well, they've raised a couple of
Yeah, there
million
it is.
quid, haven't they?
Yeah, it's a 2 million quid before expenses with a placing of 2 billion shares, priced at 0.1p per share. And that is intended as specifically for drilling expenses on their activities for this particular year, including their Greece lead zinc silver project at this point.
Yeah, okay. And then finally, it's worth mentioning, yesterday afternoon, Tungsten West did announce its Tranche H convertible bond issue, convertible loan issue, actually. It's a CLN. It's a very complicated CLN. The document for it is over 200 pages long. And every CLN holder has to sign it in order to do every fundraise. I'm a CLN holder. I'm in Tranche A, B, and actually I did put some into Tranche H. So they have to get my signature every time they want to do any sort of fundraising or anything, which I think drives them insane, to be honest with you. But there you go. But I won't. We've done plenty on that, so I'm not going to talk more on that. But they have now done that fundraise, and everyone should, just when trading the stock, work out what the market cap really is. It's very complicated, but it's probably not quite as obvious as everybody thinks, because these loan notes they're not loan notes, they're convertible loan notes. And you have to look at what the conversion is, etc. All right, I think that'll do, Paul. And you'll be back, I think, with Ollie tomorrow, because I've got a breakfast meeting first thing. And it's Independence Day, so you can talk some American stuff if you want. But anyway, thank you very much for today.
Very good, thanks.
This podcast has been produced and edited by VSA Capital. It is intended for information purposes and not as investment advice. The information is intended for recipients who understand the risks associated with equity investments in smaller companies. Please do your own research and do not rely on a single source when making an investment decision. VSA Capital may derive fees from this content and seeks to do business with the companies mentioned.